We are featuring Odalys Briones on student stories here at the Laredo College main campus, the Fort McIntosh campus. Hi Odalys, how are you?
Hi, good, and yourself?
Doing well. Thank you so much for your time, for joining me. You're here at the main campus because you do work with the Office of Student Life, correct? How's that experience?
I love it. I feel like when I was in high school, I would always be super interactive. Like I would always be active in everything in high school. And I feel like the Office of Student Life makes me feel like I'm still in high school.
Do you miss high school?
Yes, I really do.
Really?
Yes.
What schools did you go to?
I went to Alexander.
Okay.
I graduated early, so I feel like maybe that's why I missed it. I graduated a year earlier than I was supposed to.
Oh, okay. Where did you go before that? Where did you go to elementary and middle?
I went to like 10 elementary schools.
Really? Okay.
Yes,
well,
I was
fine.
always jumping around. And in middle school, I went to United Middle.
What was your favorite elementary school?
I would say Kaizen.
Okay. So you were at Alexander for 3 years then instead of 4? You didn't do dual enrollment though?
No,
I
didn't.
just finished a year early. Do you regret graduating early?
No, I feel like regardless, like this was gonna be my end of route. Like regardless, I was gonna end up coming to LC. Regardless, I was gonna do the same things, but I just ended up doing them earlier.
Yeah, but you do miss the high school experience.
Yes, but because only I was super active. I was always that person going all out. I was always that person going, like the second, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What kind of activities were you doing in high school?
I would be in charge of doing like the bulletin boards.
Okay.
I was in Teacher Tomorrow, Taffy. I did that since I was in 3rd grade, so I feel like that's what I missed. And I wanted to bring it to LC. That's what we're working on.
Oh, nice. So what do you do for the Office of Student Life? Or what do you all do? Or does everybody do the same thing if you work for the Office of Student Life?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, we create events. We do social media as well. We post up posters around campus. Let me think. We create IDs. We do orientation. We do tours.
Orientation is pretty fun, isn't it?
I haven't gotten a chance to, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I'm really excited.
So you're looking forward to maybe participating in orientation?
Yes, no, it definitely is.
Okay, well that's good to know. So this is your first year here at Laredo College, but you're taking all online courses?
Starting at the first semester, I had been taking a mix of both, and then a mix of both, and it continued until right now, only because I have 2 jobs. So.
Right. Okay, so you're working 2 jobs and you're taking classes?
Yes.
What are you studying, or what do you hope to study?
I'm studying education.
Oh, okay.
I want to be a 1st grade teacher.
A 1st grade teacher?
Yes.
Why specifically a 1st grade teacher?
Because I feel like I loved my 1st grade teacher, so
Really?
I feel like I want to be that for little kids.
How long have you wanted to be a 1st grade teacher?
Since I was little.
1st grade?
Yes.
Well, that's interesting. That's your goal. You haven't wavered since then. Like
No,
that's what you want to
yes.
do. Okay. You mentioned Laredo College being your end goal. Did you consider other colleges, or Laredo College was always the option?
Yes, I knew I was going to come here.
Why is that?
Because my dad came here, so I felt like it's a tradition.
Wanted to follow in his footsteps? But obviously you're going to have to move on from here and continue your education.
Yes, of course. I plan to transfer out to UTC.
Okay. So you want to go to San Antonio?
Yes.
Nice. Do you like living in Laredo?
Yes, but I feel like it's time for me to head to something bigger.
Time for you to spread your wings and fly.
Yes.
You mentioned social media. We're talking off air or off camera, and you mentioned social media. You're doing a lot of that with the Office of Student Life, but you personally do a lot of social media, correct?
Yes, I love creating content. I feel like that's just me. I feel like content with Odalys is an Odalys. I feel like since I was little, I would always pretend to put a camera and I would always record, or I would sit down and talk to myself, like, because I love it. I love talking to people. It's something about me that I feel like hopefully it never goes away. So, and putting it out there makes me feel happy.
Yeah. What platforms do you use?
YouTube and TikTok. I haven't really been on TikTok, but YouTube, it's always been my number one.
Do you have a favorite influencer or YouTuber?
Not
Yourself?
No, yes, I know.
Okay. Well, there's nobody that you watch that you pattern or anything. It's just everything you do is original you.
Yes, the only thing I really watch is like documentaries.
Okay.
I love watching like cases and the judges and things like that. But
like court cases, you mean? Like you like? Okay, but nothing like no particular YouTuber or influencer. So what do you do on YouTube? What is your content like?
I vlog anything about me. I vlogged the first day of high school. I vlogged tips and tricks on how to be a high schooler.
Okay. What about the tips and tricks on how to be a college student?
I haven't done that yet, but I'm working on it.
Okay. What are you waiting for? This is the time, Odalys. Yeah. And when you do content, do you ask somebody to help you, or you just do it on your own, or
No.
how does it usually work
By
out?
myself.
Yeah.
I just record, I edit, and most of the times I try not to edit because I like people seeing the reality of stuff. I
Yeah.
like people seeing how it is, straight to the point.
How do people find you on YouTube?
Odalys Briones.
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe you have a different angle.
No.
Well, this is going to go on the Laredo College YouTube as well as Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Do you listen to podcasts at all?
Not really.
No?
No.
So what does your life consist of? School, vlogging, and what else? What do you like to do?
Well, I've
two
always
jobs you mentioned.
I've always
too.
been a hustler. Yes, always. I'm a workaholic. I don't like having free time.
Mhm.
That's something about me. I don't like it. Ever since I started college, or even in high school, I've always had multiple jobs at the same time. So starting in college, I was working at Bath and Body,
Okay.
and I was working at a daycare at the same time. And then I started college. I was still working at Bath and Body, and then I started working for Office Student Life. I would get out of school, let's say at 1, I would hop into my job, let's say, and I would come out at 5, and I would clock into the other job.
Goodness gracious. So you don't ever like staying home and just watching TV or,
No.
or reading?
No.
Or, no?
No.
Okay, you'd rather be working and making
Yes,
money.
yes.
Is it the making money part, or is it just the fact that it keeps you active?
I love being on my feet and making a day a new experience. I love it. I feel like when I'm older, I'm going to be able to say that I experienced every single day. Like, I made it a different day.
You lived it to the fullest.
Yes, there we
Yeah.
go.
And as a first grade teacher, what do you think that would be like?
I feel like I would be that person for the little kids. Like, I feel like I would want them to be in this position and be able to say, oh my God, I loved my first grade teacher. Exactly how I did.
That's nice. What was your first grade teacher's name?
Miss Johnson
Where was that at?
Kaizen.
Kaizen, okay. Well, shout out to Miss Johnson. What do you feel like the college experience has been like for you? I mean, you mentioned that you missed high school, but what have you thought about the college experience so far?
I feel like I love it. I feel like everyone knows each other, and I feel like that's what makes college feel like college to me. Because in high school, we were all super close because it was small. So to me, I feel like that's exactly the reason why I came to Laredo College, because I feel like there's a lot of events, and it makes it feel like I got my college experience. And in other places like universities or things like that, it's super big that not everyone gets noticed. And here, I feel like everyone does.
Really?
So it makes it feel like, I don't know, I like it.
Yeah. Have you enjoyed the Laredo College experience?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Yes.
If there are some students that haven't decided, they might be considering going out of town, they might be considering coming to Laredo College. Tammy, what would you tell them about coming to Laredo College?
I feel like you shouldn't judge it just because it's like community college.
Mhm.
Well, it was. But I feel like a lot of people, that's why don't come here, because it's like, oh, it's been there my whole life, or it's always been there. But I feel like people are missing out. Like, it's something that you should definitely think about, because there's a lot of things that we don't show, or a lot of things that happen on campus that you might not think they do, but they do.
Yeah, there's a lot of resources too.
Yes, of course.
Have you been able to take advantage of any of the resources, or do you know some of the resources that are available?
Yes, like I feel like every day people come into Office Student Life,
Mhm.
and they bring us up they ask us things that we'll be like, oh my God, and we'll realize it.
How do you manage your work life, your student life, your studies, that is? Like, how do you manage to do both? Like, how do you study and still work two jobs?
I usually just, whenever I have the time to, I obviously make time. Like, my school is the first thing that comes, like, work aside, but school is school. But I always have time. Like,
Really?
I've never been like not been able to manage, and it sounds funny because two jobs, I mean, it takes a lot of my time.
Yeah.
But I think online really helps.
Yeah.
I feel like, and the professors are really understandable, and I love that. I've never gotten a professor that's like, oh no, figure it out. Never. They're always super understanding. They always tell me, oh my God, yes, like if you need any help, like let me know, reach out. And I feel like that's what makes Laredo College be Laredo College.
Yeah. Well, at least you're a hard worker, obviously. So keep up the good work, and I know you're going to make a great first grade teacher, and you're going to have students do the same because I remembered you as being a great first grade teacher. Anything? I mean, I know that I asked, what do you do on your free time? Do you watch anything? Do you have a favorite movie, favorite music?
My favorite movie is The Notebook.
Okay, okay.
Have you watched it?
I have watched it. Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, so you're a romantic.
Yes, it's on repeat. I watched it yesterday.
Oh my goodness! You would just watch it over and over.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. Any series that you watch or anything?
Riverdale,
Never heard of that. Well, what's it on?
Netflix.
Riverdale.
Yes.
What's it about?
It's about like high school students that like become college students, but it's always like it's drama. Like someone ends up getting killed out of like a high school student, and everyone's like investigating, and then the writer is one of like a high school student.
Okay.
But it makes it more interesting because he's seeing it from his point of view.
Wow. I've gotten some pretty good recommendations from students on things to watch, so I might have to add Riverdale.
It's really long,
Watch this.
but
Like each episode or the series?
no, the series. It's like 7 seasons.
Oh goodness. Wow.
But it's really good.
Okay.
At the end, yeah.
Well, no
they-
spoilers.
Yes, at the end, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really good though.
Do you still watch it?
Yeah.
All right. Favorite music?
Music. I'm Christian, so I listen to worship music.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Odalys, congratulations. Keep up the good work. And you're, like I said earlier, you're a hard worker. I know you're going to succeed. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.